Ivanka Trump might be in a little bit of trouble over some emails. Now, according to HuffPost, many of Ivanka Trump's alleged emails sent to White House aides, cabinet officials, and her assistants were apparently sent in violation of federal records rules. So those rules, of course, would or basically force people who are in the cabinet to be able to keep their emails so that they can be archived, right? So that people can go and look at them. Well, if you have a private email, you can't do that. So, of course, they mandate that all people in the cabinet, in the White House, use government emails. You can't use a private email. Uh-oh. Now, apparently, these emails were unearthed last fall by 5 cabinet agencies that were going through emails in response to a public records lawsuit. Now, according to one former senior U.S. government official who spoke to the Washington Post about Trump's inappropriate use of her personal email account, which, by the way, she shares with her husband, Jared Kushner, under the domain ijkfamily.com, fascinating, she was apparently the worst offender in the White House. The worst offender. Wow. Now, as I said before, this violates the Presidential Records Act. But even more importantly, her use of a private email server may increase the risk of sensitive information falling into the wrong hands. Now, does that sound familiar? Wasn't there another politician who used personal email or a server that may have increased the risk of sensitive emails being intercepted by, for example, hackers or even other countries such as Russia? What was her name? Millie? Hilda? Oh, no, right, Hillary. Hillary Clinton. That's right. Now I remember. They might have said something about it during the 2016 presidential election. In fact, I think they come up with a chant about that. What was it? Lock her up. Lock her up. Yes, MAGA guys. They definitely chanted lock her up over that during the campaign, and they're still doing it now. And so if Ivanka, if it's true that she has done this, that she has sent hundreds of emails or thousands of emails using her own private email or server, well, that's kind of awkward, isn't it? Now, of course, the internet had to chime in response to this news, and I love this. Aisha Sultan says, who knew karma could be sent via email? Hashtag Ivanka Trump. Ryan Knight tweets out, Trump, Hillary's emails. The GOP, Hillary's emails. Fox News, Hillary's emails. WikiLeaks, Hillary's emails. Karma, Ivanka Trump's emails. Now, look, I say this with, of course, a little bit of a caveat here. These messages are fun, but at the same time, I also covered her emails. I thought they were pretty important. And they did point out the corruption of the DNC. So those were important. And yes, I think there was journalistic, I guess there's journalistic importance to talking about those emails. Although some of them were, benign. I should say a lot of them were probably benign. But there are some of them that definitely showed DNC corruption. So that's an important point that I will say. Nonetheless, it's still a fun little dig, especially having these emails basically come back to haunt her. Now, Brian Gay tweeted out, Ivanka Trump trying to figure out why sending government emails over a private server is illegal, even though she knew it was illegal when Hillary Clinton did it 2 years ago. Hashtag butter emails. Hashtag lock her up. Roland Scahill also tweeted out, looking forward to Melania Trump's statement tomorrow stating that Ivanka Trump no longer deserves the honor of serving in this White House. Oh, I can't wait for that as well. Palmer Report says, Donald Trump's night so far. Ivanka Trump busted for inappropriate use of private email for government business. Lock her up. The entire Trump family is going down. They can go rake the forest behind the prison. It's still only 7 p.m. Okay, anyway. Now look, seriously though, is Ivanka Trump going to get in trouble for this? I doubt it. People in power almost never get held accountable. I think it is very rare, and I think it's very unlikely that she's going to get in trouble for anything. That anything is going to happen to her. Then again, the Democrats will be taking over the House, and they're getting ready to launch a lot of investigations. So who knows if they're going to look into this? There are so many instances of corruption and grift in this administration that these emails actually seem like really, really minor. When you look at some of the more disturbing instances of things that the administration has been doing that is, or that could run afoul of the law. So I don't know. But I do know that it's going to take a lot of investigations to get to the bottom of that grift. And if this is one of them, well, I just got to let the Trumps know, especially Donald, elections have consequences. Bitch. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.